Well, Texas is seeing the highest number of whooping cough cases in a decade. 3,500 cases reported across the state through October, some of those here in San Antonio. So I spoke with an infectious disease specialist about what's behind this increase and how to protect yourself and your family.
About 2.5 times what we saw last year.
University Health infectious disease specialist Dr. Jason Bowling says for most people, pertussis, also known as whooping cough, is a mild illness and won't end up in the hospital. However, elderly and especially infants are at the highest risk. It can shut down their respiratory system.
And when they stop breathing, obviously their oxygen levels can drop. They could have serious outcomes, end up in the hospital or the ICU, and worst case scenarios, even death.
Why are we seeing this increase?
We do see some periodic variation, ups and downs with whooping cough over the years. But there's also a concerning component that there might be some people that are behind on their vaccines that can protect against pertussis or whooping cough.
Here's the vaccine schedule for whooping cough or DTaP according to the CDC. 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 15 to 18 months, 4 to 6 years old, and then one more at 11 to 12 years old. If you're an adult, you get it every 10 years, especially if you're around infants. And it's really encouraged for pregnant women to get it in their 3rd trimester so they can pass on those antibodies to their baby. The good news is there is a treatment, and you can even get preventative medicine if exposed.
I would say that is if you know that you're exposed to somebody, even if you've been vaccinated, you can talk to your provider because you can take antibiotics for post-exposure prophylaxis, which means reducing your risk of getting pertussis.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you very much for that one, Sarah. Well, here's an opportunity for veterans who may be looking for a new job. Check this out. This is an event called Red, White, and Hiring You, and it's happening today at the Bowen Center at Techport from 9 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. And here's a list of some of the companies that are looking to hire. Of course, Boeing will be there, RBFCU, USAA, Grand Hyatt, San Antonio ISD, and much more.
Well, this Thanksgiving, San Antonio's Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner, a longtime holiday tradition here in San Antonio, gearing up to serve a record crowd. 29,000 meals this year, up from 25,000, thanks to increased need and economic challenges.
Yeah, this event is a heartwarming example of community care and holiday spirit in action, and they could definitely use your help. KSAT Community is hosting a live phone bank on November 17th. That's when you can call in and make a donation to support this important mission.
So if you want to help make sure no one goes hungry this holiday season, this is a great way to give back. We have more information on ksatcommunity.com.
All right, we are getting closer to Thanksgiving, and of course, we're going to have a lot more folks that will not be in school, and obviously some folks taking some time off from work as well. But when we get there, we will get there. Let's give you a look here at the northeast side of town because I want to focus in a little bit on some of the delays we're seeing here. So 35 south in between Roy Richard, that's FM 3009, all the way south to Live Oak, Pat Booker. We're looking at about a 20-minute delay there for some of our drivers. You see that speeds are there about 10 to 15 miles per hour for all of our folks making their way southbound at 35 at Olympia Parkway. No other major crashes to let you know about on this Thursday morning, so good news there. But check this out. Justin just kind of notified me that we are starting to see a little bit of fog, maybe some visibility issues for our drivers that are headed out to the New Braunfels area. That camera's kind of in between New Braunfels and, of course, 1604, 1103 for all of our folks out there in Cibolo and Schertz. I looked at one that was a little bit further up the road. We'll show you these as we get through your entire morning commute, but just beware that we may see some fog in our area, specifically on the far northeast side of town. All right, let's check in with Weather Authority meteorologist Justin Horn for the very latest on today's forecast. Justin, how are we looking out there for not only our drivers, but everyone else making it out?
Looks okay, RJ, and I appreciate your help on that fog. It's something we can work together on here. He alerts me if he sees anything there on TransGuide, so it's good for us to see visibly what's going on out there. And this is a visibility map. And a couple things I want to point out. I know there's a lot going on here, but this orange and yellow color, that is where we detect either low clouds or fog, one of the two. This looks to be a patch of low clouds from Kerrville to Fredericksburg because visibility is still fine. Hondo, we're seeing visibility come down a little bit. Visibility is still fine in San Antonio, but it's just east of there where we are starting to see visibilities drop yet again. So mainly, I'd say east of New Braunfels down towards Seguin, Gonzales, LaGrange, Victoria. That's a spot where it appears we are starting to see some fog. We'll see if that works west towards San Antonio. Possible. I'm not saying we're going to see a ton of fog here in town, but If we do, it could be thick in spots. We're going to put that range from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and we'll probably do it all again tomorrow, a little more patchy on Saturday. But the bottom line is that next couple days there is a threat for some fog. We certainly do not see it here on our live cam, but we do see some of those low clouds. You can just barely pick it out there in the sky, but it's not clear like it has been last couple mornings. 58 degrees at the airport, 54 New Braunfels, 58 Converse. We're close to 60 in Bernie and Stinson, so everyone's running above average this morning with some of that higher humidity. Hour by hour, 61 at 8 o'clock, 67 at 9 a.m., 77 at 11 o'clock, 80 at noontime, and we're going to be up around 84. If you were curious, that is more than 10 degrees above average, more on the order of 12 to 15 degrees above average. So it is just really warm, and I would like to tell you it's going to change. You know, November is a month in which we typically start to see a parade of cold fronts come through South Texas. That is not the case this go round. We're not going to see any sort of cold front, if we see one at all, until late next week. So that allows temperatures to continue to warm, and it allows humidity to continue to fill in. And it also keeps rain out of the picture. So here's your stat of the day with regards to that dry stretch. It has been since September 7th. Well, since September 7th, we've only had one rain event, and that was back on October 25th. September and October are supposed to be good rain months for us, but not this year. So we're really starting to fall behind in the rainfall department. And the good news here is I look farther off into next week. Now, there's nothing in the short term, but we're talking November 18th and November 22nd. So middle and end of next week, the odds are going up for some rainfall as a big system works across the country. That's, again, in the long-term forecast. We'll keep an eye on that. Short-term, we really don't have rain chances, and it stays warm all the way through the weekend into early next week. We do have some very small rain chances we throw in there Tuesday, Wednesday. Hopefully next week we can get some rain in here. That would be very, very helpful. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. You know, I have these whims, but I was watching the show Death by Lightning, which is on Netflix, and it's about President Garfield. So it got me thinking about first ladies. So who is the oldest first lady in U.S. history living to the age of 97? Was it Barbara Bush, Rosalind Carter, Edith Wilson, or Bess Truman? You can vote, ksat.com/poll. Where are my historians at? You can also scan the QR code and weigh in.
Wait, Barbara Bush? No.
Yeah, I was going to say Barbara Bush is clearly not at that age.
No, but I... No,
Wait, you're talking about
no,
okay?
Barbara Bush,
yes,
not Laura
yes.
Bush.
I was thinking. Okay, I was thinking about Laura. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
Barbara
right.
Bush is young.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Oh, wait.
See,
The other
This is
Barbara.
already making me think.
Wait. Hold on.
Viewers,
We'll go over some history here in a little bit.
It's too early. All right. Thank you, Justin. All right. Up next, you may soon be able to skip the passport line with Apple's digital ID. Plus, how Airbnb and Instacart are teaming up to help you with your groceries while you're on vacation.
In today's Tech Bites, new hardware from video game company Valve. The company showed off a living room PC console designed for 4K gaming and a lightweight, self-contained VR headset. They also showed off an updated controller. All three devices are due out next year. Apple is letting you store a digital version of your U.S. passport in the Wallet app, and travelers can use it to board domestic flights. The digital ID works on the iPhone or Apple Watch. The service is being implemented at TSA checkpoints in more than 250 airports across the country. Finally, Airbnb is reportedly about to test an option allowing guests to order groceries through Instacart before their stay. Bloomberg says customers will be allowed to place Instacart orders up to 3 weeks ahead of their stay. The 3-month pilot program is set to begin in early January. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Victor Okendo. Have a great day.
Okay, 5:26 right now. We're looking at 58 degrees outside.
All right, driving a Via bus in our city isn't the easiest thing to do if you're not qualified. So at 5:44, KSAT's Japhanie Gray sees firsthand the challenges operators face while keeping our community safe from point A to point B. Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is November 13th at 5:30.
All right, yes. Thank you very much for being with us on Good Morning San Antonio. We're tracking a couple different things. Got a little bit of fog out there, Justin, and also a little bit warmer temperatures, I guess, if you're stepping outside.
Yeah, it's warm this morning. It's only going to get warmer. This stretch in November hardly seems fair, but we are moving into what feels like almost summer. I did want to show you a picture from last night. Now, the Northern Lights, we were hoping would actually be more spectacular than the night before. Didn't quite get that. And one reason is the magnetic field of the Earth just wasn't turned in the right direction. The timing didn't work out, which there's a lot of little small intricacies here that play into all this. But bottom line, we did still see it a little bit, the Northern Lights, and this was taken out in Hondo. So a beautiful shot there. Looks like this has come to an end. So we do appreciate all the pictures that have come in to KSAT Connect, and it's exciting that we were able to share all those. What's ahead? So some patchy fog this morning could affect the commute. RJ will be checking on that for us. The weekend, hot and humid, more clouds. And when I say hot and humid, I mean we're running well above average. Next week, there is some hope for rain. It's going to take until the end of next week, though. So we've got a long stretch here where it will remain rain-free. Patchy fog this morning, 11 o'clock, 77. We're up to 84 today, which is running about 10 to 12 degrees above average. Coming up, we'll check in on Los Maples yet again. It looks like we're starting to see some color there, RJ, but what kind of colors are you seeing on your traffic map right now?
All right, Justin, a lot of red, especially in the northeast side of town. But let's start right here. You just mentioned some of the visibility that we're seeing on the far northeast side of town. Here's a camera at 35 at 11:03 for all of our folks that make their way through Schertz, Cibolo, and head down south to parts of Selma as well. Take a look at that. Seeing just that blanket, a little bit of a blanket of fog right there, seeping into that one stretch of 35. So we will continue to track the latest out there for our drivers. 35 right now, no major issues due to the fog, but something that may affect your morning commute. This will definitely affect your morning commute, especially if you're going along 35 at Olympia Parkway over here by Retama as well. We're looking at about a 15-20 minute delay right now. That may actually increase over the next time that we come back with traffic, because take a look at that. We're seeing our traffic slow going through that one entire stretch. And also, we do have a major shutdown right now, 10 East over by Santa Clara Road, for all of our drivers that are headed out to parts of Seguin. This is actually where we found our very own Alex Gomez, our photojournalist, who's making his way along 10 and 1518. So let's go ahead and check in with him right now on Drive Cam. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Still lots of construction over here in East Bexar County. This area right here, this is going to be I-10 eastbound near FM 1518. Now, this area has wrapped up construction, but like you said, once you get further down the road near Santa Clara, there is that highway closure where you have to use the access road. So one area is done of construction, another area is still ongoing. So just be careful. As you can see, just a lot of headlights headed in this direction, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex.
There we go. Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos here outside the federal courthouse in downtown. Now that the federal government shutdown is over, we're already starting to see some of those workers coming in, and a lot of them are going to start getting their paychecks. But listen, this agreement has some consequences for the Texas hemp industry and also for some shops around here in the San Antonio area. Embedded in the continued spending bill was a move to close a loophole that allowed THC products to be sold in Texas and other states. Now, when the president signed that bill last night, it officially included a ban on most THC products. This could hit the Texas hemp industry hard, which just avoided a ban earlier this year, led by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. That move was blocked by Governor Abbott in the regular session. The good news is that the new rules will not kick in for a few years, for 1 year. The bad news is that those rules limit THC products to 0.4 milligrams per package. That means most hemp edibles, drinks, and smokables would have to come off the shelves. Now, we spoke to an owner of a local business, the Mellow Monkey, about what this means for his store moving forward.
This might, I wouldn't say take us out, but it's definitely going to hinder us.
What I've been told and what I've seen, it's going to wipe out 95% of the industry.
Listen, Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky led an attempt to remove the language, but it failed. Texas Republican senators were split on that effort, with Ted Cruz supporting Paul and John Cornyn against him. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick celebrated the change, posting on X, "I believe this ban will save a generation from getting hooked on dangerous drugs." Again, the ban will not take effect until a year from now. In that time, the Texas Hemp Business Council will likely put up a fight against that. Now, that there are several other things on this agreement that are also going to affect Texans. We're going to break that down for you coming up at 6:30. Reporting live in downtown, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Patty. While happening today, Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones and District 6 Councilman Rick Galvan are inviting residents to a community town hall later on this evening. They're going to talk about how the city is handling the impacts of the federal shutdown, flood mitigation projects, and other important city updates. After the presentation, you'll have a chance to ask questions and share your thoughts with those city leaders. The meeting takes place from 6 o'clock to 7:30 tonight at John Jay High School on the west side on Marbach Road. And today, a woman accused of leaving a 3-year-old alone so she could run errands will face a child endangerment charge. Take a look at that photo right there. That's 27-year-old Laura Chubb Choke. She admitted to police that she left the child alone in a West Side parking lot. This all happened around 2 o'clock yesterday on West Commerce near Northwest 39th Street. Witnesses say that they saw the young boy running around for about 2 hours.
Well, today, the Texas Rangers are now investigating the deadly shooting of a social media food influencer by a Medina County Sheriff's deputy. So here's what we know. Deputies in Castroville responded to a mental health call on Houston Street. This happened on Saturday, where they found 39-year-old Michael Duarte acting erratically. He is accused of running at the deputy with a knife, threatening to kill her. That's when Duarte was shot twice and later pronounced dead at University Hospital. So Duarte was a popular creator based out of California with more than 2 million followers on social media. He was in Medina County for a barbecue festival.
All right, a follow-up this morning. San Antonio police still looking for a motive behind the shooting deaths of 3 people at a Northside landscape company over the weekend. According to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the man who shot them, Jose Hernandez Gallo, was in the U.S. illegally. An ICE official told KSAT 12 that he entered the country in April of 2019 as a minor with his family. The family was arrested and given a notice to appear before an immigration judge, but they haven't reported to ICE since July of 2022. Again, that shooting happened Saturday near Haymarket Street and Stall Road. Hours later, SAPD found Gallo dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Well, the Bexar County District Attorney's Office is asking for an administrative review after a judge removed a 4-day-old baby from his parents' care. So the incident happened last month in district court. DA officials contend the decision from Judge Mary Lou Alvarez could cause due process and constitutional rights concerns, was a possible deprivation of parental rights, and expose the county to possible liability or confusion. But not everyone agrees.
We just have to be better about how we take care of kids. It shouldn't be about putting something on letterhead and sending over to somebody.
So today on the news at 6, KSAT Investigates takes a closer look at what the judge saw from the parents that may have given her concern.
We see VIA buses on our roadways. The operators make it look easy, but I'm taking a test to show you it's a lot harder than you think. I'm so sorry. The awareness that they're bringing to our city drivers coming up on GMSA.
All right, welcome back. We're still watching for a little bit of patchy fog around the area this morning. Sunrise, by the way, at 6:57. Sunset will be at 5:39 today, and some warm weather for the weekend. We'll take another look at that forecast coming up.
544, welcome back to GMSA. Well, VIA bus operators go through a lot of training to make sure that they can safely and efficiently get our community from one place to another.
Yeah, so each year they celebrate that training with a friendly competition within their company, seeing who is the best bus operator among other VIA position contests.
And our Japhanie Gray actually was hanging out with some of these VIA bus drivers to participate in their competition, and she's going to show us how all of this training went, and she got behind the wheel herself.
Passenger pickup!
Passenger pickup. So your foot is on your service brake. Okay. Parking brake is down. Neutral.
Neutral.
Drive.
Okay.
Steer wheel straight.
Okay. Oh, Lord bless you, Jesus. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Go slow. Slow. Keep it slow. Because now we're going that way. So go slow. Go slow. Go slow. Slow.
Here we go.
Got it.
We rocking now.
Straight through here.
Through there?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Oh Lord, I'm about to hit it, Jesus. Oh Lord. Okay. I will never underestimate what y'all do.
You got it. Stop right there. Stop. Straight now. Don't move. Don't move. Straight now.
Did I hit another one?
Not yet.
Okay.
Keep her straight. Go slow. Come to your left a little bit.
Hey!
Halfway through the course now.
All right. Let's go.
Gas, 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 gas.
Here we go.
Gas, gas, gas. Brake, 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 brake.
Okay.
Brake. There you go. There you go.
I didn't.
You took instruction very well for this to be your first time. So I would definitely give you a 7.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
I will take that. 7 is my lucky number.
Yeah.
Was really generous of her. I'm saying,
I mean, she finished.
She finished. She finished. Good for you, Jeff. So at 6:42, Jeff takes on the actual competition after getting all trained up. We'll see if that training paid off. But you'll also see firsthand the pros and cons through the eyes of our passionate VIA bus operators in our community.
All right. I believe in Jeff. I think she's going to take that training and get in 7.5 next time.
I've seen her drive through the parking lot.
Oh,
so
my God.
No judgment. I'm probably.
No, she's great. It'll be great.
Yeah. Thanks,
Cool
Jeff,
story
for that.
there. Yeah, cannot wait to see part 2 of that. Okay, let's talk about the situation on the roads this morning, guys. Speaking of that, and a big shout out, of course, to all of our VIA.
Whoa.
Here you go. Look at that. Oh, that's a new camera shot. Look at that. You just want to follow me? There we go. Wow, look at that. All right, taking a look here at the fog situation. Of course, we've been following everything out here with many of our drivers on the far northeast side of town. 35, this is going to be north of Engel Road, and this is much closer to the New Braunfels area. So take a look at that. Visibility, not, completely terrible, but you do see that fog kind of seeping through that one camera right there. So it's going to be 35, a little bit south of New Braunfels. Obviously, we got a lot of folks making their way to and from the New Braunfels area. Also headed over to parts of Schertz and Cibolo on the far northeast side of town. So again, appreciate you guys being with us. Stay safe out there as we get closer to 1604 and 35 in the San Antonio area. 35 at Olympia Parkway, still seeing that major backup right there. That's going to be from Live Oak all the way up to Roy Richard, 3009 for our drivers here. We're looking at about a 25-minute delay for everyone making their way out there. Everything else across the city, not bad right now. In fact, we are starting to clear out that construction activity. 10 at over here by 1518. That's where Alex was at. So he has cleared the scene there. Everything else across the city of San Antonio, not too bad on this Thursday morning. All right, let's go to Justin Horn, our weather authority meteorologist, for a check of everything out there. Justin, how we looking?
Proof that RJ does get his steps in every morning. Yes, indeed. All right. Los Maples, we wanted to check in there and see what was going on. I want to give a shout out to Friends of Los Maples, their Facebook page. They posted this, and you can see some of the color change. It is officially underway. It is a great time to go out to Los Maples if you want to check it out. We had that cold snap, and that just kind of helped spur things along. So the colors have arrived. Just be sure to make reservations because it is crowded right now with these colors in place, and it is a very popular place to be. All right, outside. I just went out and checked. We do have a bit of a cloud deck, but it's not super low. So far we have not dealt with fog here in town. 60 degrees at the airport, 54 New Braunfels, 58 Converse, 57 Bernie. So we actually have come up a degree at the airport, and there's very little wind, high humidity. So this is a good setup for some patchy fog here and there. If not fog, then we're going to see some of those morning low clouds, which we're detecting here. So this yellow and orange color, that is where we have a patch of low cloudiness. So that's going to be from San Antonio points north. And then where you see some of the spottier yellow color, that's more of the fog. So that's Victoria, LaGrange, Gonzales. And we're starting to see some of that maybe shift towards Pleasanton and Floresville, maybe Seguin as well. So again, we'll be watching this as some of this moves maybe a little closer to San Antonio. We'll see how that plays in with the morning commute. Hour by hour forecast here. 59 degrees at 7 a.m. by 8 a.m. 61. We'll be up around 80 degrees by noontime and a high temperature today of 84, which yesterday we were at 82. So we just keep climbing here, and temperatures are going to be warm through the foreseeable future. We do have some playoff football games tonight, and this time of year you would expect some cold temperatures for these games, but not so much. 76 at kickoff, 71 halftime, 68 for the drive home. Just one of the several playoff games. Bernie Champion versus Southwest down there at Dragon Stadium. That'll be a good one. 7-3 Bernie Champion versus 8-2 Southwest. All right, dew point trend. We're going to go, well, it's already fairly humid, but we're going to get even more humid as we go forward. By the time we get into the middle part of next week, I mean, this is almost summer-like humidity in place. So just know not only will it be warm, it will also be sticky. That leads to some more clouds, maybe some morning fog continuing next few days. We'll go as high as 86, I think, Monday and Tuesday. Now, as we'll talk about coming up during the 6 o'clock hour, there are some chances of rain beyond the 7-day forecast. And hopefully we'll get a bit of a pattern shift. But that is a warm 7-day forecast in general. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning brought a little bit of confusion to my colleagues here a little earlier, but let's break this down again. Who was the oldest First Lady in United States history living to the age of 97? Was it Barbara Bush, not Laura Bush, but Barbara Bush, Rosalind Carter, Edith Wilson, or Bess Truman? Right now, Bess Truman has taken all the votes. Go to ksat.com/polls, scan the QR code.
Living at the age of 97.
97.
Ooh, am I going to say Carter? No. Am I messing that up?
You're going to have to vote.
Well, I can tell you this. Most of the First Ladies outlived their male counterparts.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting tidbit there. Thank you for clearing that up for us, Justin. 5:52, 60 degrees outside on your Thursday morning.
A warning for parents, high blood pressure in children has doubled over the last few years. Up next, the leading cause contributing to this change.
Coming up on 5:55, as we get you closer to our 6 o'clock hour, high blood pressure in children has nearly doubled over the past 2 decades. Experts say that dietary factors in children, such as consuming high levels of sodium and ultra-processed food, can contribute to their hypertension risk, along with a sedentary lifestyle. A new study found that back in 2000, rates of hypertension in boys and girls hovered around 3%. But by 2020, those numbers had risen to around 6%. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States.
Well, authorities south of San Antonio are keeping a close eye on livestock for the New World screwworm. All right, so it's a flesh-eating parasite that can devastate the cattle industry. It nests in wounds and eats animals alive. Inspectors are checking animals heading north after Mexico reported over 800 cases. The U.S. has already blocked live cattle imports from Mexico twice this summer to stop the spread. So far, no cases have been found in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yikes. Okay, well, check this out. Even though government shutdown is over, it's still taking a toll, obviously, on federal employees everywhere. And that's what led San Antonio District 8 to show their appreciation.
With the help of a local restaurant, Pasha Mediterranean Grill, more than 100 TSA officers and air traffic control staff were treated to a free meal.
All right, yeah, you love to see the community, local businesses kind of coming together to help everyone out during this time of need, for sure.
Yes.
Okay, coming up in just a little bit, obviously we're getting closer to our 6 o'clock hour, and we're going to be giving you all the updates, news. We got some fog in our area. Also, we're going to be checking in on the traffic situation, Sarah.
That's right. And are we taking drive cam here for a second?
Okay.
There it is. All right, so we have a live look, like RJ was just saying, checking in that fog. That looks like 2.
Yeah, it looks like Alex was at 1518 and then now headed over to the San Antonio Museum of Art. So that's actually the downtown area. We'll continue to update you with the very latest as we get you set for GMSA at 6 o'clock.